That's free money, too.
Pregame.tv talking baseball. Chi Sox at Minnesota with their playing in the outdoors, doing much better than expected. And before we went to that, Bryan Leonard's got a free play on that. I did want to talk a little bit about trading bases. Fascinating book. I just started to read part of this. And one of my favorite parts about this book is the author refers to cluster luck. Basically, what we talk about with football and with just the fact that you look for a team that's just been getting lucky. Now, they're not. They talk about clutch hitters. There are no clutch hitters, he says. Do you agree with them?
Yeah, definitely. Cluster luck is basically when you see a team who scores four runs on 10 hits. Then the next day they score 4 runs on 20 hits. Next day they score 4 runs on 2 hits. What's the difference? Is because it's not only the hits, but it's the order that the hits are in. If you get a single, triple home run is a whole lot different than a single, out, single, out, end of the inning, go to the next inning, triple, out. So whatever, it's clustering of the hits.
Right, and an example of what could have been cluster luck is I know that we're talking about the White Sox, but let's talk about the Cubs today. I know you're on the over in that game, so I'm watching. I hate baseball. And so, VR, I got to ask you about this.
I may have mentioned that once.
So the first 2 guys get on base. The wind's blowing out 25 miles an hour. Okay, a guy in this game hit a home run into the center field bleachers, which has to be 440
While
feet.
attempting a bunt.
And, so men on first and second, hard base hit into left field for Colorado. Nobody out, the wind gusting out, and the third base coach sends the runner to his death at home. And I'm thinking to myself, this is why I hate baseball. You got these old fart third base. How do you not get fired doing something like that? That's the sort of thing you cannot.
You can't send them.
The total's not 6.
You're got to be like this.
It's not 2 outs, bottom of the 8th tie game,
Yeah,
and with Tom Seaver on the mound.
Were you watching the game?
Oh, my God.
What were the announcers saying on TV?
Oh, well, it was muted. It was actually at Wild Wild West.
No, you have to go
all the people watching were just like, what a complete
that's how you have a big inning, by holding them up.
I'm listening to it on the radio on my MLB at bat, another plug. But I'm listening to it, and they were talking about how great the throw was. And I go, oh, well, it must have been a great throw. That's the only way you would send him. And then I get here, and he's complaining about it, so maybe it wasn't.
And the funny thing is, the wind is, like I said, I've never seen this before. Dude, a home run in Wrigley, because you've got all that room, the backdrop, to get it to the bleachers in center field, or I don't know if there's bleachers or
no outs,
is like the next, the next batter hits it 480 feet to dead center. So I said to Bryan, he's got over 10 and over 10 and a half. It says this game's landing 9 or 10. I don't know which, but it's like a gift.
Wow.
If it lands either, that's not good.
That's how you have a big inning. You got to hold them up, man.
That's right. But let's not hold up this analysis, Bryan.
Let's do it.
You like the home team in this game?
Yeah, we're going to take the Minnesota Twins with Pelfrey here against Chicago and Axelrod. I'll go against, in my opinion. Axelrod's a guy who his strikeout rate's been down every year since he started. Started out like 9.3 per game. Now he's down to 4.8. He's a fly ball pitcher that's very inconsistent, not a good combination. He's got a 5.19 ERA on the road this year. Last year, overall, 5.47 ERA. Right now, the White Sox have been a team that's not playing well right now. In fact, you could probably say the White Sox,
unless Sale's on the mound.
Well, that's it.
And they're really good.
Starting pitcher's actually been pretty good for Chicago. I mean, Peavy's having a really good year. That's the strength of this team. When was the last time the White Sox starters were the strength of this team? Just in that ballpark, it's not a good combination. But I've been watching Pelfrey. He came over from the National League to the American League. Normally a bad combination. You want your pitchers to go from American League to National League.
Sure.
That's something you take advantage. And he struggled coming out of the gate. But his last 3 starts, he's pitched pretty well. And he's gone against the Orioles, Tigers, and Indians, 3 pretty good hitting teams. And unlike Axelrod, Pelfrey's an extreme ground ball pitcher. Doesn't give up many home runs. He's only permitted 2 in 34 and a third innings this year. I like the ground ball. In fact, even though he's a ground ball pitcher, he's had more fly balls than ground balls this year. So I expect that to stabilize a little bit too. And I like Pelfrey here. I think there's
he gives up a lot of hits, but not a lot of runs. That's what I like.
He's a guy who doesn't give up the long ball.
Yeah.
And he's never had, I think he had one really good year with the Mets, but overall people don't think a lot of him. He wasn't a huge free agent signing. I think you get value when you play him.
For me, it's pretty simple. You have a team that's positive run differential in Minnesota against a team with a negative run differential in the White Sox. You have a team that's made you money this season. If you bet Minnesota, flat bet them, you're up almost 7 units for the year. If you did the same with the White Sox, you're down almost 7 units for the year.
Ride the wave.
So I got the better team at home. For me, it's simple. Unless the pitching matchup's so dominant towards the White Sox, and it isn't. So for me, I got to agree.
Stop the presses. Stop.
Gotta agree.
You guys are agreeing now.
Agreeing this
because we're
time.
supposed to. You didn't get the memo. We're supposed to disagree with Bryan.
I absolutely love Axelrod in this spot.
I like the Truman Show, where we're deep down we're just doing.
I love Axelrod in this spot.
How many times can we disagree with Bryan Leonard before he walks off the set in disgust? No, it's just
again.
I like the play as well. Let's make it official, Bryan.
New Steve Fezzik would have to get in another movie reference. I couldn't do a video without it.
Trading places.
Trading places?
I'm Steve Fezzik. He's VR.
Yeah, but you just said something about the Truman Show. I'm supposed to be looking in the camera, and you're talking to me.
This one.
Over here.
I got the right one this time.
Right.
Sorry.
But, yeah,
Focus.
VR pointed out the differences in these two teams. In fact, I bet both these two teams season wins under. I still think we're going to get both teams going under for season wins. But Minnesota right now, they're hitting very well. I like the pitching matchup here. Minnesota's got some young players on the rise here. I think Chicago, take a look, when you're looking at season wins, I've talked about this for some other teams, the White Sox really have nobody major league ready in the minor leagues that they can bring up as the season goes on.
Konerko ain't even hitting.
Yeah, Konerko's not hitting. PV, he's had a history of being hurt. Once he gets hurt, they're going to be in trouble. And there's a lot of talk about Sale last year, going from his small amount of innings all the way up to his major innings he had last year.
Just don't fade
so we could see a fallout really bad here on the White Sox. But in this game, we'll take Minnesota with Pelfrey.
Like it.
I like it. Sounds like we got a winner with this one. Stay with us here at pregame.tv, and we're going to come back, and Bryan's going to be breaking down the winner of the Mets St. Louis. What's interesting is we did a radio show pregame, RJ Bell, and Bryan gave us the winner of this game, and they're up 6-0 on St. Louis, and you kind of did it casually, but it wound up being a slam dunk. So great call on the radio. We'll come back with another winner here in 2 minutes, 2 seconds? How do they do that?
2 and 2.
Stay with us.